different situations call for different lighting. It's kind of dark. Let's turn on some lights. Is that better? It can definitely affect the way your video looks, quality-wise, as well as the feel that you have. A well-lit situation can make any video look better. So let's adjust our lights to have maybe a more dramatic look. Now, more dramatic, totally different. The lighting setup, I set the lights up behind me, slightly behind me and to the side of me. So it creates different lights, different shading, different feel altogether. Also, when you aim your lights toward the camera, be careful, you're gonna get a really hot spot or a bright spot. So maybe set it off camera a little bit more. It isn't as bright, but it brights more of the area. So the closer the light is to the subject, the more focused the light becomes. So here, if the light were off camera more, it would be a very dramatic setting. To keep a more standard light, like an interview type of lighting situation, you want 3-point lighting, or 2-point lighting is okay if you don't have 3 lights. So let's set up a 2-point light. First you'll set up your key light, which is your main light, and it's going to be more to the side, off camera. Hopefully it's off camera. And having it not directly on the center of the person allows shadows to come. Adding a second light, be careful for cords. Adding a second light and aiming it not directly at me, but slightly away from me, can fill in some shadows that maybe be a little harsh. This is good standard 2-point lighting. Now, if you want to create a kicker or a backlight, you can do it a couple different ways. If I'm definitely going to be in front of the light and hiding the light, you can have it directly behind me. But if I move around, you'll be able to see that light. Okay, maybe you could get a smaller light or a different light to create the kicker. What the kicker does is it separates your subject from the background. A lot of times you definitely want to have depth to your picture. So think about the lighting, the way the situation, what type of video you're doing calls for different lighting. So standard just interview, somebody talking, telling a pleasant story, that would call for standard lighting. If you want to create some mood lighting or dramatic lighting, maybe some eerie lighting. Have your lights come underneath the person from below. Of course, you've seen people with the flashlight under them when they're telling a spooky story around a campfire. Well, this has that same effect. Maybe it's not directly under the person, maybe a little bit off to the side. it still has kind of a spooky, eerie feel to it. So think about these types of lighting and play around with your lighting. Play around with where your lighting is positioned to get the full effect that you want to deliver. And also think about the distance between your subject and the background. Typically, the further away you are from the background, the blurrier your background will be, hopefully. In a brightly lit situation like outside sunlight, you definitely want to have the person come closer to the camera. So the further away background, the better.